Here we are with our tutorial of Judaism and Christianity multiple choice. This is going to be a very brief one. Again, this is not to teach you the ins and outs of Judaism and Christianity. It is to help you answer more effectively multiple choice on those two topics. So we're going to start with our word association. Um, Really two things to understand with these two. And it is monotheism, the belief in one God, and it is the Ten Commandments, the code of behavior, a code of conduct, rules for behavior. And again, your class notes have way more on these two things, but that's not what we're doing right here. We are just figuring out multiple choice that the Regents might ask. So look at your notes for more on that, particularly if we're talking writing an essay on either of these things. If I were you, I would probably pause this video now and write these things down on a flashcard. Judaism, write these things down. Christianity, write these things down so that you know them and you can kind of associate the right things with them. So again, monotheism and the Ten Commandments, which is a code of conduct or behavior or rules for behavior. So let's take a look at a few multiple choice. And you're going to notice something. First of all, Islam is with them a lot. We'll talk about that in a separate tutorial though, because there's a little more the multiple choice might ask about that. So as we go through this, I'm going to read the question. I think you should pause it and try to pick the correct answer yourself, and then we'll go through it. So Judaism, Islam, and Christianity share a belief in, and the choices are A, papal supremacy, B, teachings of the Quran, and again, it has both of the most common spellings here, at least in the Western world. C, reincarnation and the Four Noble Truths, and D, an ethical code of conduct and monotheism. So again, if I were you, I'd pause it. So let's go through these choices now. Papal supremacy, that's the authority or the supremacy of the Pope. That would be the Catholic Church, a branch of Christianity, but having nothing to do with either Islam or Judaism. The teachings of the Quran, that has to do with Islam, but not with Judaism and Christianity. Reincarnation and the Four Noble Truths. Again, I'm going to do one of these on Buddhism. That's what this is. Word association, this will be two of the things that are on there. But then we have our ethical code of conduct and monotheism. Let's go back. If you know code of conduct, if you know monotheism, this question would stick out to you. And again, we're going to have monotheism and code of conduct for Islam on our word association as well. So there is that question. Let's go to the next question. I think you'll see some similarities. Again, please pause it after we go through it. These are separate questions that the Regents have had. Judaism, Islam, and Christianity share a belief in A, the central authority of the Pope, B, prohibition of the consumption of pork, C, reincarnation of the Four Noble Truths, or D, monotheism and ethical conduct. Pause it, take a minute, and then let's go through it. So the answer to this one, again, is D, monotheism and ethical conduct. Almost the exact same question. Central authority of the Pope. It's just a different way of saying papal supremacy. So you can go through and eliminate wrong choices if you need to, but you shouldn't need to. That takes longer than you need to for this. If all you need to know is code of conduct, rules for behavior, and monotheism, don't bother eliminating choices. Read all four choices. This is obviously the right answer. Pick it. Next question. The religions of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam share a common belief in A, nirvana, B, monotheism, C, reincarnation, D, animism. Again, pause it and pick a correct answer. But this is Buddhism. This is Hinduism and Buddhism. And animism is the belief that everything in nature has a spirit. Definitely not a belief of these three religions. Again, you know the word association, you get it right. It's monotheism. Next up, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism are similar in that they ask their followers to A, believe in reincarnation, B, strive for nirvana, C, follow a code of behavior, or D, practice polytheism. Again, pause it, but let's go through these. Believe in reincarnation, again, Hinduism and Buddhism. Strive for nirvana, that's Buddhism. Follow code of behavior, let's go back again to our word association, code of conduct / behavior. Looks like that might be the correct answer, but let's look quick. Practice polytheism, that's the belief in more than one God. So none of you should pick that ever, because you know it's monotheism, even though it wasn't a choice here. That one is obviously wrong. So that's really the extent of what you need to know, again, to answer the multiple choice. We went over this. We'll go over it way more in review in class, during class as we study it. But for answering Regents questions, know this, move on to something else if all you're concerned with on this is indeed the multiple choice.